Second day of recording, and the gym was busy this time around. I started off with 2 working sets of box jumps alternated with handstands. The first couple of jumps were okay. The landing here was a bit shaky. I feel like I should be putting in more rotation with my arms. Maybe I should work more on that shoulder mobility. That's definitely something that could improve. And this is the last one. I went straight into handstands from that, and I was mindful of yesterday and how my legs were sort of drifting back. So I was trying to engage my abs and my glutes a bit more to keep my legs straight, and went for a small tuck. I'm trying to progress towards a better tuck, and also a sort of a straddle for a few seconds before I finish it off. I try to stay up between 30 and 45 seconds each time and slowly progress in that. I did a bit more deadlifting today. I went up to 150 like the previous day, and I also put in one back off set of 3 reps. 140 here moved fine, and then I went up to 150 again. The starting point is alright. I feel like the bar does raise somewhat unevenly, and this is something that happened the day before as well. It's not something that I've experienced in the past, but it's good feedback looking back at the footage afterwards. This is a set of 3 with 120 kilos, getting some quality volume at about 80% of the daily max. They felt good. I tend to alternate back of sets with deadlifts and the 45 degree hypers, and also do some high rep empty bar shoulder presses for my shoulder rehab. After that I went into squats. This time is front squats. I ramped up to 80 kilos. It felt alright. I have a tendency to hide behind the beam in the power rack, so definitely gotta be mindful about that. But technique wise, I've started very recently, but I noticed a good improvement in my upper back bracing. It doesn't feel like it's pushing forward as much as it used to. And right after the squat, I go into some straight leg raises. I do them for about 15 repetitions, couple of sets, and I'm trying to keep my legs as straight as possible, trying to engage that rectus femoris that connects to my hip, and get some nice burn in. Next was a back of set of 5 with 65 kilos, again about 80% of what was the daily max. And I noticed that I'm going to parallel. I am not really pushing my knees as forward. I noticed that when I consciously think about pushing my knee forward, I do feel a lot more tension on the quads. So this is also something that I need to work on, but pretty satisfied with how it moved. Next is dips, and I recorded both sets because when I rewatched this first one, I noticed how my left shoulder seems to be slightly higher than the right one. Now, the left one is the injured one, and I do notice now, looking back at it, that maybe there is some more work to be done. I still feel like there is a bit of a discomfort, especially on the last repetitions, but the next set should show that it improved a little bit. After the dips, I go straight into a warm-up set, 10 reps of pull-up, preparing for the weighted pull-up after the next one. And it's pretty tiring to go for pull-ups straight after the dips. I'm gonna try and alternate doing pull-ups before and see what feels better. I do like to superset them because it's just body weight stuff anyways. Now this is the second set with dips, and I notice a little deeper push on my left shoulder, so I was probably warmed at that point, and it felt pretty good. And this is the set of weighted pull-ups, nothing really different from the previous one. On pulling up, I was thinking about keeping my back slightly more open. I noticed that it started to cave in at the fourth repetition and also the fifth one, trying to keep it for some good time under tension as I lower slowly down. Okay, Nordic curls. Now this time I was actually trying to give a contraction at the very bottom. You'll notice here with my glutes, trying to lift myself up from the fully extended position, but I am lacking the strength at the moment, so I still need a little bit of an assistance with my hands. This is definitely the progression, so my goal for this is to be able to pull myself back up without any assistance. And from then, straight into Lou raises, get some nice volume, get my shoulder open, get some blood flowing in there. They feel really good. I'm gonna be doing them every time that I can, couple of sets for high repetitions, pushing them up, and I really want them to speed up my recovery with my shoulder. And finishing off with bicep curls. 2 sets, 12 and 11 repetitions. I think I'll be pushing them up to 15 before I increase the weight. I'm trying to keep the form as clean as possible. I wanna really get that adaptation in before I jump up in weight. This session took about an hour and 20 minutes, no back of sets with the 45 hypers because of the deadlifts, and it was pretty good. Alright, ciao.